I'm inclined to do something a little more vigorous because we're going to talk about nutrition and we want a little fire going on in our belly so that we can really digest and absorb the stuff that we put into our bodies. So we started with Kapalabhati the very first session. Let's do it again. And that breath is also called the breath of fire. And it feels like a cough almost, but it's through the nostrils. So everyone just do that. It's a snort, like good. So we do a string of those and we feel the diaphragm pumping. So it's up like that. So we'll do 15 together. So let's just breathe, full inhale. Inhale some more. One more time. And then exhale completely. Squeeze all of the air out. And then inhale halfway and begin. And then breathe normally. And notice what your energy is doing right now. It's a vigorous breath. Maybe it brought your energy level up. It certainly is going to help you, be attentive. It's a good breath to try when you're feeling sluggish. This week, we're going to dial in our nutrition. And this was my first love. I got a degree in nutrition years and years ago because I think it's so fascinating and it matters so much. So we're going to be moving toward, and again, to whatever degree feels good to you, but we're going to move toward a vegan whole food diet. So we've weaned off all the junk food and we're looking to go way more plant-based. The idea here is to eat for nutritional density. Our digestion is probably a little more robust. We're feeling a lot better. Our elimination is better, hopefully. Our hydration is up. And the channels of elimination are the same channels that take the food that you eat and move it toward the cells. It takes the food and delivers to the cells. They're called shotamzi in Ayurveda, and there's 72,000 of them in your body. And each one of those channels has 100 branches. And you think about that, every cell has channels going into it and out of it. And these channels are the pathway to remove toxins, and they're also the pathway to deliver nutrition. And so the goal of this reset is to get those channels cleared so that we can do both. And so when we have this going on and we eat for nutritional density, our bodies are going to absorb way more nutrients and we're going to be able to assimilate and use them to repair and, get the energy from our food. So how do we optimize that? How do we make that better and better and better? There's, all of this is spelled out in the manual, but I'm going to talk a little more about it. This is my opinion. I don't know if it's a direct teaching of Ayurveda, but I've been at this for a long time. I really believe that snacking for most people, there's exceptions, but snacking for most people is the thing that derails their health more than anything else. Food is either medicine or it's poison, and it's rarely neutral. And so snacking puts us into a state of always burning sugars for fuel. And it prevents our bodies from accessing this calm, stable fuel source from our fat cells. And we want that pathway to be more robust, then the pathway that causes us to have an insulin reaction, that when it's when that pathway is used excessively, it turns into a metabolic syndrome and obesity and diabetes and all kinds of other hairy problems. It can lead to certain types of cancer. It can create things like arthritis and let's see, inflammation is a huge one. So I'm going to invite every single one of you to look toward eliminating snacking 100%. Now, if that freaks you out, good, because it's stretchy enough for you to move into it and give it a whirl. When you do, now that said, you don't ever want to feel stressed out and super hungry or hangry. If you're feeling like that, have a little something so that you're not in a space of stress. But over this week, my goal for everybody here is to dial it back to 2 or 3 meals a day, and that's it, so that the body has time to begin to pull these toxins out of the system. Uh, the toxins are most of our toxins are fat soluble, so they're in our fat cells, and we're looking to pull those out. And we can't do it if we're constantly eating. It just doesn't work that way.